Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. It has been a long time, so hello from the east to the south to the west to the north, wherever you are, past, present, and future. Um, Thank you for joining me today, and everybody else out there listening. It is greatly appreciated to not to allow, but to have you guys to have the pleasure to come and join me on today's podcast and every day's podcast and episode here with the Actors Area. And so I love the concept of master of auditioning so much, or mastering the audition so much, that I wanted to kind of dive into it deeper. And so, that concept, master of auditioning, it sounds more like a shamanic concept than anything else. But, I was, interestingly enough, I was watching a film, a documentary on Netflix, and it is so crazy, so interesting. So this guy wanted to make a film about what was going on within Scientology, and so I was a big fan of the Leah Remini series with Scientology on A&E, and it just kind of really gave you an idea as to how they are. So anyway, this British guy wanted to shoot a film, and he was auditioning these actors to play David Miscavige, who is, basically the head guy in Scientology and whatnot. And there was something that caught my eye that actually gave me the idea to do this episode. And what I noticed with a lot of actors is that the nerves overtake them and they get into an audition and they just fly through it, right? They just blow through it. And the pacing is so breakneck and rapid that it's like, okay, wait a minute, slow down. Let's take a breath, right? Because here's the thing. If you're on set, right? And this is why it's so important to treat an audition like you're hired to act. That's a shift that if you take the time to really do that, you will benefit greatly. I started doing that so many years ago, and I tell you, I can walk out of every single audition today, regardless of what happens, feeling like I did an absolute amazing job, right? And then, I know CAZT.com is not around anymore, but they actually used to give you tapes and feedback or video of your audition and feedback. And I would always get really good feedback from them for what I was doing. Another one is the Hollywood Film and Productions over on, and I'm speaking in Los Angeles, over on Santa Monica Boulevard. They do the same. And it's amazing what you can get from having video of your audition and feedback. And the thing I realized is that, okay, I've got to treat this like an acting job. I've got to set the pace. If I'm on set, there's no way that the director is going to rush me unless it's like a fight scene or something, and it has to be fast-paced. But if we're acting, I've got to take my time, right? I've got to take my time. And so I'm watching this documentary and this guy auditioning these actors, and they're just flying through it. It's like, yeah, but like, I'm like, whoa, okay. You wouldn't do it like that on set. Nobody would, right? Not even the same actor. So it's like, calm the nerves, breathe as deeply as possible, right? Take your time. When they say you're ready, if you are not ready, just say, I just need one more moment. They're not going to rush you, right? They're not going to rush you. And anybody that does rush you don't know what they're doing, because here's the thing. If I'm a producer, if I'm a director, if I'm a casting director, I want you to come in and be prepared to do your very best job. So that doesn't mean me making you fly through, the audition that could change, the scope of your career as well as mine. So if you need a moment, take that moment and say, okay, I'm ready. And then once you're ready, you have to set the pacing, okay? Unless it's a scene that calls for a rapid progression of events, you have to set the pacing, and it's taking your time, because here's the thing. When you're patient and you take your time and you're being as easeful as possible with it, that's registering to the subconscious mind of the people who are auditioning you, right? If you're going too fast, you're just another bean in the pot, so to speak. But if you're going slow, right? So you have a line, your line, something as simple as, hey, how's it going? You know, don't say, hey, how's it going? And then all of a sudden, here's the thing, energy feeds off energy. So the reader's going to take your same pace, and before you know it, the audition will be done, and you'll be like, well, wait a minute, what did I do? No. Take that line, be like, hey, how's it going? And then take a breath and think about what the other actor or reader has just said to you. See, that's one of the most important things, is to listen, right? As an actor, great actors listen, because here's the thing. It's life recreating itself. And what do I do in life when I'm talking to somebody? I listen to them. I hear what they have to say. I process it, and then I respond. Whereas in most cases, sometimes you already know what they're going to say, and so you're just waiting to say your line, and it looks like, you know, because your body has to reveal what is going on inside of you. It looks like that you're jumping at the bit, almost like you're playing whack-a-mole, you know, in the audition. You're jumping at the bit to say your line, when in actuality, process what the reader is saying, right? Let the reader process what they're saying. That's why it's so important to get a reader, possibly an actor who could be a reader as well. But, you know, it helps you to really get into the scene and to really take your time with it, right? And that's basically what this episode comes down to, is just slow down, right? Take your time. Take a deep breath in between, right? Take what we call artistic pauses or artistic beats to really process what is happening within the script and within the story, and then reveal that thing through what you're saying. Because here is the truth about anything that comes with expression. People are never really thinking about what you say. They're thinking about how they feel when you say it, right? And if you're blowing through it, you're not going to create an impact. You're not going to create an impact on anybody. You're just kind of going to fly through it, and it's just going to be, okay, just another actor or actress. Back when I was in LA, I did this, it was like a table read where, you know, this production company calls actors in, and they sit around a table and they read through the script. And this was another time where I'm like, you know, people were just trying to like collect the cash that we were getting from it, and they wanted to get out there. But I'm like, you know, I really want to take a moment to embody who this character is and really act out, because here's the thing. You're only helping the director and the producers to figure out what this character would be like. And in some cases, I've heard like through those things, actors wind up getting auditions, wind up getting jobs, you know, because they took the time to really dive into the character, as opposed to say, you know what, I'm just doing this to get the money and I'm out. So really be mindful of where you are within the story, of where you are within the situation, and process. You know, we don't go through life flying through the day, you know, speaking 100 miles an hour. No, we're going through life. We're talking intently about what we want to convey. Once again, it's just life recreating itself, right? I wrote an article about this on Backstage about 3 years ago, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And it's probably the best advice that has been revealed to me from a divine's perspective that I do my very best to implement. And you know what? Here's the awesome thing. So many auditions are becoming digital based now that if you realize the first time that you do it on a self-tape submission, just do it over again and do it slower, right? Do it in a more controlled pace, and then just shoot that until you get it down, right? And then when you're going to a physical audition, just tell yourself, self-talk is an actor's best friend. Tell yourself, okay, remember to slow down. I control the pace, okay? And I am going to allow this to flow in the best possible way that it needs to in order for me to succeed in this audition, and that's all I need to focus on, right? So you get in, they get you doing that slate, whatever it is, get the nerves out, say your slate, take a deep breath. I love the words when they say, whenever you're ready, take a deep breath. I center myself, and I really allow the room to feel the first thing that comes out of my mouth, the first line that comes out of my mouth, because they've got to feel it, and that's how they connect to you. And when you go slowly enough and you feel the words and you feel not only just the words, but the message, the nonverbal message that's being conveyed by the actor, it allows you to come across as somebody who understands, which you do, because you wouldn't be there if you didn't. You understand what is truly happening. Backstory is a beautiful thing. Internal conflict in dialogue is an amazing thing to use. And we do it every day. So, like, oftentimes there's internal conflict about stuff, right? Something as simple as, I really, really love my wife, but I do not feel like going to the store right now. That is internal conflict. You can take that and use that in the script. You can use that in a project that you do. It's just that simple, right? And so it's finding examples that can sort of relate to the work that you're doing right now. Because look, if you can get that down, the internal dialogue and the internal conflict, that is going to be a golden lightning rod for you as an actor or an actress. Because especially when it's up close, here's the thing about our bodies. Our bodies are going to reflect everything that we're truly feeling into. It's just the way it is. It's just the way that it's set up. That's why acting is so amazing, because when we're in conflict and we're thinking about doing something else, but something else is pulling on us, all of a sudden it humanizes us, right? And it immediately, because since everything is energy, if you're on stage, the audience begins to feel, some sort of telepathy as to, okay, what they're actually going through. And then even on TV, like the really, really good actors and actresses, because you can watch them and you can see their internal conflict unfolding within their own beings, and it's conveying to you what's actually going on inside. And it's a truly amazing thing to have. But you allow it to breed itself when you slow down. Okay? Guys, I want to set an intention for you today that you have a wonderful day and you're booking left and right the best jobs for you. Let's set that intention. Dearest God in me, supreme infinite intelligence of my subconscious mind, I ask, it is my intention, as I ask easily and effortlessly, that everybody listening to this podcast, everybody that will hear this podcast, will manifest the roles that are divinely perfect for them in the most comforting, easeful, joyful way possible, that is in their highest good and the highest good of all concerned. Thank you for answering that prayer. Thank you for answering that intention. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Remember, you are a master of auditioning. It's just a matter of implementing certain steps into your process. And I promise you, it will turn out for the very best in your favor. Guys, thank you so much. We will talk soon. Take care.